Blended Kingdom Teens is all about the real-life struggles of living with divorced parents.
We give you honest conversation and practical tools for living out your identity and purpose as we chase after God together. Hey BKT!
What is up? It's Jerzi.
And Sidney. And today we're bringing you guys another little nitty-gritty conversation.
It's deep. I'm not gonna lie.
It's a little deep. Hits a little home for some of you guys. Today we're going to be talking about, man, I don't even know how to start this. We're going to be talking about not liking a step parent.
Yeah.
Because there's no way to go around that. Not liking a step parent for whatever reason. And we're also going to even go a little bit into a parent choosing their new spouse over you.
Yeah.
Whether it's your mom or dad being remarried and them choosing their new husband or wife over you. Definitely a deep convo. It's a lot to talk about. And we're going to get through it and we're going to glorify the Lord in it.
And we're just going to, we're going to be as vulnerable as we can with y'all, because we want you to know that what you are feeling, what you're going through, you are not alone.
Right.
We've felt it. We are in it with you. My goodness, we are there with you. And we're trying to be good Christian people through it and try not to have these emotions, try not to be mean or rude, but your feelings are your feelings and you need to identify them and go through it that way. So, this is going to be amazing.
This is going to be so fun.
I'm so excited. We're going to start it off with some verses. Go for it.
Okay. So we are in Jeremiah 29, 11 through 13, not just 11, because 11 is not the end of the story. So Jeremiah 29, 11 through 13. For I know the thoughts that I have towards you, says the Lord, thoughts of peace and not of evil, to give you a future and a hope. Then, this is verse 12, then you will call upon me and go and pray to me, and I will listen to you. And you will seek me and find me when you search for me with all your heart. I can preach on this one because Jeremiah 29:11 is not the end of the story. It is not. Yes, he does have those plans, in thoughts of peace and not evil towards you, but that's not it. That's not to stop. That's not the end of it. You have to seek you. First of all, you have to call upon him and pray. It literally says you have to do these things. You have to call upon God, put him in the situation. You have to pray to him about the situation. And then when you seek him with all your heart, you will find him.
It can be hard.
Yes.
You might not like that step parent at first, or you might still not like them, or you might feel like your mom and your dad is choosing their new spouse over you. But the Lord has plans for you, and you will find those plans whenever you are seeking him, when you are
taking it to him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we're going to talk about it. And it's going to be great.
It is going to be.
So let's jump in.
Yes.
I'll go first.
Okay.
So, to be completely vulnerable, I have not always liked my step parents, including at the beginning. With my dad was the first to get remarried, and it was about a year and a half, maybe 2 years after my parents had gotten divorced. So in my eyes, I was like, okay, so my dad's horrible, and he never loved my mom. I had all those thoughts. I'm like, who is this lady? Who do you think you are? Right? Yeah. Those are the thoughts, and I know that those are y'all's thoughts. We have had those thoughts, and it was hard. It was so hard. She came into our home, and I remember this one morning, her first morning there. I don't remember how this all happened, but I am a little sister of 3 older brothers, and ever since my parents had gotten divorced, I was the mom at my dad's house. I did the clothes. I made I helped put breakfast together and their lunches. I was their little mom because that's what they needed, and I thought that's what they needed. And my stepmom came into our little home, and she was starting to do laundry, and she was starting to make us lunches, and I was like, no ma'am, this is not your area, this is not your space, this is my space. And so I got so upset and so angry, and actually through therapy, go watch that episode. So good. Through therapy, I was able to realize that it wasn't her that I hated. It wasn't Kendall, my stepmom. It wasn't her that I didn't want there. It was just this reality of divorced parents. This reality that I have a stepmom is something that I don't want. It's not that I don't want Kendall as my stepmom. It has nothing to do with her. She's an amazing woman. And I'm so thankful for the woman of God she is in my life. But that didn't change the fact that little Jerzi, she didn't want a stepmom. Yeah. It didn't have anything to do with her. Same with my stepdad. It is not cool. And it is okay for you to not love your step parent.
Yeah.
you have a mom and a dad.
Yeah.
This world was not made, like, the Lord did not create our families for us to have multiple mothers, multiple fathers. Like, that's not what he intended, because it's worldly.
Yeah.
So it's not just gonna fit. It's not gonna fit. And so those are true feelings, and I've had those. I'm with you in that, but we're called to trust in him, because his plans are bigger than ours, and they are, and I'm here. And I have a relationship with Kendall that I'm so very thankful for, and she is poured into me as a woman of God. So it is so, so cool that the Lord has changed it around. What about you?
Yeah. So my dad, like said previously, my parents got divorced when I was 12, but my dad didn't get remarried until my senior year of high school. They had been together for about 2.5 years, just dating. I met her literally. Nobody expected me to meet her when I did. It was just like I had to run by the house to grab something because I was at my mom's house. Plug to another episode. But like, I literally, like, when they got married, I was like, yeah, I like her and everything. I always really liked her because she brought out the best in my dad. And kind of just like, because my dad was struggling with stuff. And so she just kind of just put God in the middle of it and like brought him into it, which was great to see and whatnot. So I've always kind of had a good relationship with my stepmom Courtney, and like she's great. She's literally so great. There's like obviously there's been bumps in the road with like little things of like, but it's never really been between me and her. It's always been between her and my dad, just because of the past. Because I was there, and my dad doesn't really talk about the divorce, and it's just like she's like, I have a blind eye to certain things. And so me and her have always had like a really good like relationship and everything, even since day one. But when my mom, she was dating this guy and was engaged for a little while, and then ended up cutting the engagement off. She was with him for like give or take 3 years. And so I was like, I don't really know, just because I was like biased because it was my best friend's dad. And so I was like, this is great. She's gonna be my sister. But I saw through it as I got older and realized that I'm like, I don't really know if I want my mom dating right now, because it's nothing against him. It's nothing against any of that. But I'm like, there's things that I feel like my mom needs to kind of work on. Yeah. And so I was like, hey mom, like, are you sure you should be dating right now? And she's like, I'm literally engaged. I'm like, I know, but like, are you sure? Like, are you sure? Yeah. And well, she wasn't sure apparently. And so it ended up going the way it did, but it was like all by design, because now she is with somebody who got her in church. Yeah. Like my mom goes to church. It was a big thing. Part of my story that like my mom never went to church. You guys heard on like season 3, like my mom did not go to church. And there was a big issue with that, like when I came to faith. And so she's in church now. She goes every Sunday. The guy prays before every meal. Like when I heard him pray, he literally said bestowed. And I was like, oh, this is a guy. This is a cool guy, because I'm like, I don't even use bestowed. I'm like, which is like so funny just because of like, it's just a word, but seriously, like he's so devout in his faith. And it's like, I knew there was like, even being younger when she was like with the other guy, like I knew that there was somebody better waiting for her. And so I was like bittersweet about it. But yeah. And so with the other guy, I originally had never really felt like me and mama have a super close relationship. Yeah. Because he kind of did take a little bit of the attention, because he was like, oh, well, my kids. And I'm like, well, what about me? I'm her daughter. And so just to lead into that other side of this topic, like your parents kind of choosing the other spouse, or feel like they're choosing the spouse over you, it can be hard.
It can be really hard. And I'll say that, at least for me, while we're closing, like some advice that I would give to someone who does feel like their parent is choosing their spouse over you as their child, that's a true feeling. That's a thing. And to identify that feeling is a really, really big deal. And to communicate that with your parent, like communicate that with your mom or dad, that, hey, like, this is how I feel. Because I can almost promise you that their intention is not to hurt you through their actions, and they're learning too. I think that's something so huge that I've gotten to learn as I've been in college, that like my mom, my dad, like they're not these huge like wise people with gray hair and like
Right.
have all the answers. Like they're going through it too, and they're trying to learn how to navigate a blended family still, just like you. And so communicate that with them. Tell them, hey, this is how I feel, and I know you probably aren't wanting me to feel this way, but this is how I feel. And they will validate that and answer it, and y'all will get through it together. And so it is a really, really big deal to communicate your feelings, and remember that at the end of the day, like, speak Jeremiah 29 over you. Like, Lord, I know that you have plans to prosper me and to help me get through this, Lord God. So I'm going to seek you in this. I'm going to bring you into this because that is how I will know that this is fruitful. So, wow, this was such a good episode.
Yeah, I really enjoyed this.
I did.
Yeah, this was fun. Yeah, like no matter what situation you're in, like we said, literally Jeremiah 29, 11 through 13, like preach it to yourself every single day. It's so important to bring God in these situations, especially of the ones that aren't bearing good fruit.
Fruitfulness.
That's like the whole like scheme of this entire season.
Yeah.
This is fruitfulness.
We hope that you absolutely loved this episode. And if you did, hey, send it to someone you feel that really needs to hear this. Maybe send it to your step siblings.
Maybe write a review. Let us know.
Let us know. But hey, we love you and we're thankful for you. And as always, stay strong and courageous. And
see you in the next one.
Bye.
Bye.